Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rodeo Time, the podcast. We are in the Dale Warehouse. We're in the studio. We've got with us Donnie Ray Daytona, Cole Snyder, Jordan Halverstein, and we are talking about we're going to talk about Yellowstone. There's a lot of big news. There's a lot of big things. There's some things coming. Had some interesting conversations with Taylor Sheridan. So we're going to talk about Yellowstone. We're going to talk about our new New Year's resolutions and some recent things that have happened, some exciting things that have happened, and some exciting things that are going to happen. So thank you for joining us. And you guys have anything to share with the crowd before we get started?
You know, 2020 was a good year for vision.
I knew Cole would have something to say.
Cole's been relentlessly giving me a hard time about my eyesight. I got LASIK yesterday, which I'll tell you that story in a minute. It's not that interesting, but it's crazy to me.
You know, they say you're a man of vision.
Well, I am now.
Yeah.
I'm now more than ever.
That was a twofer. That was a Lonesome Dove quote,
That's an applicable Lonesome Dove quote. You get 20 extra bonus points.
Yep.
We need to give people bonus points if they're able to land Lonesome Dove quotes on camera that are applicable.
What are the bonus points? Like, what? How do they?
Dude, we need a scoreboard.
How do they transfer them?
We need a scoreboard for the year, and I get to award or deduct points from certain people for different things.
That's
like
not
that
bad.
right there, you get 50 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a Lonesome Dove quote on camera. It's applicable. You get 50 points. And maybe at the end of the year, there's like a cash prize or something.
Right. Or just free Daleware.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a cash prize, Cole's gonna be like just blurting out stuff all the time.
No, but like
front legs in front of the pan. What?
there's other things that can make you can be awarded points for.
Right. Gotcha.
Like maybe some sort of like a Dale Brisby quote, or let's say if Cole were to be on someone's podcast and plug dalebrisby.com or something,
Right.
then he's awarded X amount of points.
You think someone would have him on their podcast?
Well, if they did, he'd get a lot of points for it. That's why it'd be worth so many points, because it's so unlikely.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Started off really supportive there.
You guys check out dalebrisby.com for the Rodeo Time apparel. We've got new caps, new shirts, new hoodies, new everything. And text me the word special offer to 940-353-0890. 940-353-0890. Text special offer to that. And when we do free ship codes, or I'm going to do some sort of giveaway, I will then text you and let you know that that's going on. And yes, it is Dale Brisby texting you. It's not Donnie. It's not Cole. It's not Willie. It's DB, because it's on my phone, and these guys don't get on Daddy's phone. All right. Now on to, what do you have, Donnie? What were you going to say?
You got any games on that thing?
Now on to the podcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Rodeo Time, the podcast. This is our first podcast of 2023.
That was a different kind of song. There we go.
And we're going to recap, and we're going to tell you what's in store for 2023. I think the biggest thing that everybody's excited about is the fact that Dale Brisby is the star of the show Yellowstone.
Crazy.
I'm on it.
It's on a lot of people's minds.
It really is.
I'm surprised at the amount of articles. I mean, if you just Google, I'm not saying I can't be the only one. If you Google Dale Brisby Yellowstone, there are no shortage of
I counted 3.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
3 articles.
Someone else who's surprised that I saw Saturday night was Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah.
I ran into him at the ranch rodeo, and he said, "Wow, your fans loved that you were on Yellowstone."
Like he was surprised?
Yeah.
Well, I think he was surprised, like I was, at how the rave, based on the amount of screen time I had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's not like there was like any sort of monologue between me and Jimmy during the show that made for, you know what I mean? It's not like.
It would have been nice if there was at least, like Dale, or, somebody.
The camera panned and you see Dale Brisby, and now there's 3 articles, and
Right.
we had a good conversation. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't tell you everything that we talked about, but
Right. Yeah.
I was there with the ranch, won the ranch rodeo in Fort Worth. Congratulations to the 4-6s, me in particular. So,
What events did you do?
I did the bronc riding saddling.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's an important one.
Shoot boss in it.
It really was, Donnie.
That is
Thank
an
you for
important-
saying that.
that's
it
an important
really was.
Got to pack their parachute, you know. Like,
Well, the way the events lined out, I want to say it was maybe not the wild cow milking, maybe the sorting or something was right before the bronc riding, and so they were finishing up that, and then Dusty had to come get on a bronc immediately.
Dusty got
after.
on a bronc.
He had yes. Zach Peters got hurt the night before on his bronc. He rode his bronc, but something happened with his ribs, and he was really sore the second day. So Dusty called me, and I was on my way over from Dallas. We were at the wholesale market for those people that want Delaware in their stores. That's what that market's for. Plug. So anyways, I came over early. He was like, "Hey man, I need some help." So I came over to Fort Worth early, and because he didn't have time to saddle his own bronc, and the team was in the sorting with him, so they didn't have time to saddle it for him. And I'm glad I did, and I'm glad Cole was there. So we saddled this horse. I don't think I've ever saddled a horse this tight.
Yeah.
Like and I wasn't trying to soak the bronc by any
No,
means.
You just didn't want your friend to go over the front.
Because the timing was correct as far as when I pulled
Yeah.
him, but I pulled it down like he was going to rope all the bulls
Yeah.
that day. Not just a bull, but all the bulls. So we pulled it down, and a lot of them use the tongue. A lot of ranch bronc riders use the tongue of the cinch, but I pulled it like a normal bronc saddle and ran the latigos out the back of the D and then under the saddle. Really good back cinch behind the break of the belly. You know, sometimes they'll be in front, but I went it behind. And then I even measured his bronc rein for him. I've never felt more at peace with the measurement of a bronc rein, with where the saddle was positioned. Everything was great.
Yep.
And
Probably 4 people came by after Dale had measured the bronc rein and pulled it. He was like, "Yep, same measurement, same everything."
and then one guy came over, told him to put his hand somewhere different, and then he walked off. And then Dusty looked over at Kai, and they both looked at each other, and he put it back where I told him to put it. And
Sorry, you ought to give some the bronc in particular, the one we were saddling, because you did some research on this horse for Dusty beforehand.
yeah, so I called Clint Lindenfield because it was Jason Murray's horse, and Clint said, "Man, I think X and 2 on that horse, and he's pretty rank. He's all there." So Dusty said, "Did you hear anything on him?" And I said, "Yeah, my friend said X and 2, and he's a jump kicker."
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Just a walk in the park.
I
man.
did not want to tell him. He's like, but like Dusty was sitting there while I was on the phone with Clint, and I was like, and he's like, "Yeah, man, that horse is stout. He's all there." And so I told Dusty, I was like, "Yeah, man, just jump kicker right down the pin, give him X and 2." And he's like, "Good."
All right.
And sure enough, I mean, he wasn't like over the top rank, but he was all there. And yeah, Dusty rode really good for 4, and then kind of got his feet, lost both stirrups, and his feet came back, which makes your upper body go down, come forward. And then he just gritted it out and sat back up, and he didn't have no in his heart, or there was no quit in him.
That's because you told him that horse was just a jump kicker, and it wasn't some kind of, like.
This is the worst of it.
You don't want him to lose before he even gets on.
Exactly. Because he hadn't been on a bronc in 9 years.
Exactly.
So, but he gritted it out and did, he was 84 points, and it worked out, and they won the whole rodeo.
Right.
So, yeah, I thought it was hilarious, me trying to sneak into pictures with him, and just, I had a blast with the posts that came after that. Like
Absolutely.
photo bombing. And there's the one picture that Pfeiffer took that it's like 5 red 4-6s ranch shirts behind, and then just me in the middle. Like, yeah, my shirt got left at the dry cleaners. Like,
Yeah. Dale, we need you.
But I have thoroughly enjoyed those posts that I've made. But so, anyways, then got to hang out with Taylor and a little bit afterwards, and tried to sneak in some pictures. But we talked Yellowstone stuff, and he was talking about his character Travis and
the Radiator Ranch spinoff.
Oh,
sorry, I wouldn't.
Spoiler. Everybody thinks there's a 4-6 spinoff. No, actually, Jimmy gets canned there, goes to Radiator Ranch.
Hey, man, want to be on the internet?
Yeah. I think if we go into season 19, he said he'll consider it.
Oh, hey, you know what? That's not a no.
Yeah, that's not a no. But yeah, and then we went to Fort Worth to the stock show, and so yeah, Yellowstone. But I can't imagine, like, just the brief time that I was in it, like what it did for, like, I was talking to Shane Smith, and he said, like, their song "All I See Is You" blew up. Right. And that wasn't even the song they sang when they were on stage.
No,
in the episode
they used it like at a big part, like when Jimmy was going to Texas or something like that.
I think season 3, something. But
I noticed it. I was like, dang, that was a good song choice for this.
I did too.
For this period.
Right.
That's going on.
I remember hearing it.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, Shane said that "All I See Is You" blew up. And them as a band has blown up.
Yeah.
Crazy since then. So all kinds of gigs and whatnot. But that same thing hasn't happened for me. Just the 3 articles.
Right.
Just the 3 articles, and I've gotten like 5 really good Instagram reels out of the deal.
I mean, I wrote 2 of them. So
the
they're on there, though.
You paid me to write these.
Taylor did comment. He said he really enjoys Dale's cut downs to the interns.
Yep.
Like, that's one thing that he really enjoys watching, which I was surprised he even watches our Instagram.
Right.
He had a couple favorites that he referenced. And of course I did not tell him that they were ones you had written.
That's that's fine.
I took all the credit for that.
Yep.
But yeah, that was funny. Which most people do appreciate those jokes. There was one cut down that we've done that people did not appreciate.
Which was?
Where I tell Willie to go ahead and take the day off. Why don't you take the week off? Why don't you just go ahead and start your Christmas break?
Yeah. I didn't even think that was that bad.
Well, I think the thing about it was it showed his face.
Oh, yeah.
And he looked sad.
Yeah.
Personal.
And then I think what happens with these reels is it goes into an explore page.
Right.
Well, somebody who's been watching ranching or rodeo related stuff, if you don't follow Dale Brisby, it's likely that my stuff is going to pop up in your explore page. You don't know who I am. If that's the very first video you watch, you're like, good heavens, this guy's an a-hole.
Man, why would you ever want to work for that guy?
Much less follow him on Instagram. Yeah. So then you get people commenting on there that.
Right. I was going to say Ty at the R.A. Brown, because by the time this drops, that rodeo time will have been out for a while when you fought Ty, but there just happened to be another Ty there.
Oh, yeah. There's people that, I mean, like, they fully believe, like, man, this Dale Brisby guy is an A, but, you know, I don't know. You win some and you lose some.
Man, that would just be, I think it's perfect. If Taylor Sheridan, those are his favorite videos, then on an episode of Yellowstone, if you just get one line, but you only need one line. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody could just do something. Just a quick cut of Dale Brisby just saying, I don't know what the situation would be. But that one where, man, you're lucky I shaped that hat for you because that's the most cowboy thing about you today.
Yep. Yeah, that's something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Or the can you swim, push them off their horse. Well, you can't ride either.
Oh,
that was a good one.
I think
the only other one that I can think that people are really freaking out about that aren't happy is the Jeep video. Did you watch that?
People didn't like the Jeep video?
The Jeep video is awesome.
People that own a Jeep don't like the Jeep video.
I was going to say, I saw how many views it had on
like
Instagram.
Like a few million.
Yeah, on Instagram, so I just posted it to YouTube again.
Absolutely. No, people enjoy it, but it's people that don't have Jeep. There's some people on there that, like, one guy commented, like, I bet this guy talking owns like a Honda or a Civic or something. I said, It's an 81 Honda.
How dare you? Price tag says POS Honda.
Man, I'd hate to come over here to fight me, but I know that Jeep of yours won't make it. So,
Yeah, it's crazy how. And to be honest, I didn't realize that was a thing.
The
people
culture.
gathering in parking lots. Like,
right.
I just happened to be. I was on my way home from San Antonio after a booth. I stopped there. I think it was like either like a Firehouse Subs or something. I was like, oh, I got to get this good sandwich. And I stopped and I was in the parking lot just enjoying my sandwich. And I look over, nobody else in the parking lot except 9 Jeeps
Parked
right beside each other with 9 owners outside of them looking at each one by one. And I'm normally not one to like video strangers and make fun of them, but I felt like this was like pretty innocent fun, like it was a softball, and it was just anyway. So I just did my voiceover like, "Ooh, I like how you got them 4 tires under there." Yeah, them front tires spin like them back tires. That's why they call it 4-wheel drive,
Dude, the one every time I see a Jeep now in the back, and it's just just all about that Jeep life.
Yeah, just all about that Jeep life. It's a life that only we know about. Right. But it could have been anything. It could have been like a bunch of S10 Chevys or something.
Right.
Like, it was just the way they were. I just thought, but I didn't realize, like, people do that often. But I guess we all do in a way. I mean, rodeo cowboys. So.
Yeah.
Let me sit in that saddle. What's that saddle?
Oh,
man, this thing feels good.
I like that saddle. I like the way you got them stirrups on there and stuff like. Yeah, that's where I put my feet. Where I put my feet. I imagine it's probably a Jeep person might feel towards me the same animosity that I feel towards people that make Brokeback Mountain jokes when they see a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
That's just...
It's just overused.
Yeah. Good
It's just
one.
not creative.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie was 15 years ago?
Probably.
No, 18 years ago.
I mean,
Because I remember the year it came out, we made a lot of jokes.
Right.
And I remember what year that was. And because I had a buddy go and watch it alone.
I know it was.
So we had to give him a hard time about it. And
I just thought it was a Western.
well, Larry McMurtry wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he went and seen it. He knew what it was about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
But he was like, surely there's something else to this. Like, no, it was just kind of maybe Larry just had one of those years.
Right.
Got a writer's block.
What if I go in this other direction?
Or what if they're gay?
All right, bear with me. Sheep. Oh, wait, they're gay?
Yeah.
I was just talking about because they gathered sheep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No, that's funny, man.
Interesting. Yeah. The more you know.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. So, anyways, Yellowstone. Daddy's on it, and I'm the star of the show. There's no telling what's going to happen next half of the season, so look out for it. Dale Brisby is he's part of it. Me and Taylor Sheridan were like this. It's me on top. Yeah, it's another brick. That's what I say, brick by brick. Just got to keep building them. So it's 2023, and we're getting geared up. We're getting fired up. It's right now Fort Worth Stock Show is going on. Next up is San Antonio, then Houston in March, and on through the summer. We've got booths every month, but we're filming every month. We're practicing every week. What is your New Year's resolution? Cole, go.
Mine was to only pee outside. I've had this resolution a couple times, and I've been able to stick with it so far. It's a little tough at the Fort Worth.
Yeah, how'd you do it there?
I went over to the horse barn, some of them empty stalls.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You haven't peed inside yet?
Nope.
Why is that a goal?
I don't really, you know what? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm cheap and I hate water bills, and I always just feel like
you think Fort Worth was going to send you a water bill?
No, it's just after a while, it's more just
the
stubborn.
principle.
Yeah, it's the principle behind it. We're men of the wilderness. We're cowboys.
Okay.
That and it's just people always have questions, just as that one. A lot of people have New Year's resolutions that there's no conversation starter, but only peeing outside. I feel better peeing outside. Everybody else does. You get to pee with a view. I mean, it's just I think it's I wish everybody would do it.
I get to pee with a view every time I pee. What's your New Year's resolution, Donnie?
I said on the video we did, I said to see my kids more. But after 21 years of me not being in their life, I guess they don't want me.
Okay.
Nothing to
so
do
now
with
you're changing it.
I mean, I tried.
3 weeks in, we're changing it. What's your New Year's resolution?
Be better than I was last year.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I don't know. I've never really been a guy to make New Year's resolutions.
I'm occasionally I'll do a New Year's resolution and I will knock it out of the park.
Like what, for example?
New Year's Eve 2008, I said I'm not going to have any more sodas. And here we are 15 years later, I've never had a soda. I haven't had a soda.
That was a good one then. Yeah.
There was one Jeremy Melanson, aka Melankin, we were traveling together, and then he got married, and it was like at their shower or a bachelor party or something. I did like take a shot of Coca-Cola in lieu of alcohol.
Right.
So like I did have that one thing, but outside of that, it's been 15 years. So this year I'm on the carnivore diet, and I've broke the diet 4 times, but it was like once I had a salad and 3 other times I had handfuls of trail mix, but that was because I didn't have any meat for like 24 hours. So anyways, right now it's my carnivore, and also to text my interns' moms less.
Right.
Not stop.
Yeah.
But just less.
See, it's almost more hurtful to stop, honestly, because that's when they start texting us.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the whole point of it is it's a weaning process.
Right.
I want to wean myself off of texting y'all's moms this year.
What did I do wrong? Yeah.
Can you talk to Dale for me?
He just kind of just ghosted me. We had plans.
He turned off his live 360. Can't see where he is though. So, but yeah, it's not just a strict carnivore diet. It's carnivore plus mountain ops. So like in the mornings, I'll have like a post-workout recovery shake that they make. I'll have like the Ignite throughout the day. So I think a strict carnivore diet, so is like probably none of that.
Right.
I have a few of their protein bars, which probably have peanuts in them. So like there's a little bit of like, it's kind of my own version of a carnivore diet.
Right.
But I've been like researching that kind of stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Borderline obsessed. Obsessed compared to like my previous years of like how I viewed health.
Right.
Obsessed compared to like Cam Haines, David Goggins, Andrew Huberman. No.
Yeah.
Very elementary when you compare them to them. But if you compare it to my previous years on how serious I took health, yes, I'm obsessed.
All right. So what's what do you have for breakfast? Is it just mountain ops in the morning, then you eat like a steak at night?
Yes.
Okay.
Steak at lunch. I've been having a steak at lunch.
Yeah. Because I've seen guys that just have, a bowl of ground beef, they kind
It's
of
not bad. I like,
Yeah.
I tried it the other day just to have burger by itself. It's not bad. I kind of like it.
I really like to mix just hamburger meat with like eggs.
Right.
Because it's animal products.
Yeah.
So like I've had that a lot of mornings. And if you have 4 eggs mixed with like a 1/4 pound of ground beef just mixed up in it and then salt on it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It does.
That's a pretty normal meal,
Yeah.
and it's very filling.
Right.
3 eggs will hold a guy over for, a couple hours.
3 eggs by itself and be
Yeah.
okay.
Correct. Right.
You know?
So if you have 3 eggs plus like a 1/4 pound of ground beef, or a third even, like
Right.
that's a lot to eat. So,
What about cholesterol?
I'm gonna get it checked. Yeah, that is a
I'm not
concern.
saying like that red meat is bad for your cholesterol, but there's like certain things in grains that are like good cholesterol to help fight bad cholesterol. I don't know.
Right.
So after the Netflix show, so my dad died of a heart attack at 55. He didn't know he had cholesterol issues. Died at 55. So after my mom got me this blood test, she paid for it. She was like, for mine and my brother's birthday. Well, it was like 3 or 4 years and I didn't do it. And she called me and she was like, hey, if you don't do this, they're going to send me my money back, which I don't mind, but if you're going to do it, you might as well do it. So we filmed the Netflix show. I was very stressed. I did not work out and I didn't eat worth a crap because each scene I wanted to have energy. And so I ate what was ever in front of me to give me energy to make the scene, because that was my priority. My health was not my priority. So coming off of the Netflix show, 2 full months of filming, no working out, very stressed, not eating good. I go in, get my blood test, and they said, you have medication-worthy cholesterol, like meaning it's too high. Because there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, like you said. Well, the bad stuff was too high. So I changed my diet, changed a lot of things, worked out more, and got it back down, like 30 points or whatever, which is basically what's possible to get down on your own.
Right.
And so we were good. So at the time I was eating less beef. Well, I'm hearing all this stuff like the lion diet, which is Jordan Peterson's daughter has this autoimmune disorder or whatever, and so she does the lion diet, which is just beef and salt and water.
Right.
She's been on it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Lamb and bison.
And she'll
pretty
take a
much
break.
just beef.
Yeah, she'll take a break and do lamb and bison.
Yeah.
And every now and then she'll have like a dose of honey.
Mm-hmm.
That's her sweetness. So I'm like, man, how can you survive? Aside from the fact that you're not eating any vegetables,
right?
But like, she didn't fall over dead after. It's been 5 years, so like, I looked in the carnivore diet, and that gives you a little more variety of like, obviously anything that comes from an animal, and so essentially, I do eat vegetables. They're just processed through my animals that I eat. I just eat processed vegetables like corn and grass that came through a beef.
Right.
And then I'll eat it in beef form. So, but to make a long story even longer, I've been about 2.5 weeks on this, and I'm going to probably go another month and then get my cholesterol checked. I think one of the things that may have contributed to my bad cholesterol was the fact that, yes, maybe it was the red meat, but I think more so just all the crap, fried foods, desserts, sugar, anything processed, any like stuff that you can put it in a bag on a shelf at a grocery store and it could sit there for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
If you eat enough of that, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Every now and then is one thing, but like chips and salsa, like
you eat a lot different now than you did when I first met you.
Yeah.
It was a lot of, we ate just one restaurant a lot, and we're big on the barbecue ranch.
Yeah, I eat less of that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, dressings.
Yeah.
But I've always been off and on these different I've always been off and on these different just like being healthy, but like now I'm like no vegetables, and that's new for me.
Right.
But I do feel fantastic.
Do you think you feel better?
Yes.
Really?
Dang. So
yes, definitely. I definitely feel like I have more energy than when I was doing just eating healthy, like salads and whatnot.
Just eating clean, I guess.
As far as like eating clean, this is the best I've felt eating this,
So I've always read that one of the side effects of the carnivore diet is explosive diarrhea.
That's the lion diet.
Okay.
And that's when it's just beef.
Right.
For the first couple of weeks.
So not to be too personal, but you're regular.
So again, my carnivore diet also has Mountain Ops. And so like I've had protein shakes as breakfast since 2008.
Right.
So my body is pretty dang used to that being the start of my day.
Right.
So now the only thing is like my second and third meals have been altered. But essentially, like I said, I just removed the bad stuff, like freaking chips and random, a candy bar or dessert.
Yeah.
But I feel so much better.
Dang. Have you noticed anything in your workouts then? I know you feel better and everything, but like you able to, like kind of peak out, like stay strong for longer, or maybe it's still too early. I don't know.
I think it might be a little too. My workouts are still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I said, like my morning routine, if I run good, my workout this morning was not all that explosive because I had LASIK yesterday, And last night I could not open my eyes and they were hurting, and all I wanted to do was go to bed because I just knew subconsciously or deep down, whatever you want to call it, I knew they were going to feel better the next morning. So I was like, if I could just go to sleep. So during the surgery, they gave me a Valium. Slept most of the ride home, which I don't remember. Y'all went to Chick-fil-A, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I slept through that. When I got home, I took 2 Tylenol PM and a scoop and a half of melatonin powder stuff.
Right.
It's the hardest I've slept ever. So this morning I woke up and came in here to do something, had to get moving, and it was a very weak workout.
See, I was more looking forward. You were hurting pretty bad after the surgery, but in my head I was just thinking, oh, he's just going to be blind. I was just going to go on an adventure, basically driving. Like, hey man, we're going to stop. You know, and it's just like, what could Dale do? You know.
Well, I wasn't blind, but I was definitely I could open my eyes and see, but I could only open my eyes like every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Like opening my eyes would hurt. They're just super sensitive.
Right.
You know.
What was the surgery like, the LASIK surgery? Like, do they knock you out for it, or you're awake the whole time?
No. So I'm in the waiting room, and there's like this glass wall, and then there's a table right here with these big machines next to it. And I was like, surely that's not where they do it.
Yeah.
Well, they come in, and this guy named Daniel had apparently taken his Valium, and he was like out cold, and they came in there like, Daniel, and he was like, his mouth was open, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's next, but he is Valium next. So they wake him up, and then he walks in this glass room, and I just watch him do the whole procedure.
Yeah.
And he was maybe in there 12 minutes, 10 minutes total.
Yeah. And
probably 7 of that was him getting situated or getting up.
Right.
So like for 4 minutes he was laying down. And there's one machine goes in and it like peels back the flap on your eye. They tape your eyes open.
Yeah.
This table rotates to another machine. They go in, they like laser. Zzz, zzz.
Yep.
It smells like a branding iron on hair.
Yep.
And you're under each machine. Each eye takes about 10 seconds. So like total, it's like 40 seconds of like laser stuff. But it was really that simple. And I walked out, but I was very nervous.
Yeah.
For days, weeks, months. Matter of fact, I was supposed to have it done a month ago, but I canceled it because I was nervous.
Yeah.
I told them like something came up, but really I was just lasers. I didn't want lasers in my eye.
Like laser beams in my freaking
laser
eye.
beams in my eyeballs. And so I just rescheduled it, and then I finally warmed up to everybody I'd ever ran into that had it had said like it's the greatest thing ever. So and then like I got to noticing like my inner circle of people I call for like extreme life advice, like 2 out of 3 of them had it and like loved it, and the third one wasn't a candidate. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Except this one girl. She's a beef influencer.
So we'll say.
And not to name any names. But anyway, I asked her, I saw in her story she was going to have it. And I'm nervous. Like I'm praying, like it's part of my prayer life. It's like, Lord, please be with all these conflicts overseas. We don't go into a nuclear war. Also, please be with my decision to have LASIK. You know what I mean?
I would really like to see.
Protect my family, like expand the kingdom. Also this LASIK thing, like it's like I'm praying earnestly, like it is on my mind.
Please don't forget about the LASIK.
Please don't forget about the LASIK. And so but I see this girl, I met her in Vegas and she seemed sweet. And so I was just like, hey, so how was it for you? Cause it was on her story. And she was like, do you want to know the honest truth or do you want me to sugarcoat it? I was like, oh dear Lord, please just shoot me honest. Crickets. Doesn't respond for a full day. I was like, oh my gosh, this is, please tell. Right. She's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, it was the greatest thing ever. It was like a month ago. And then yesterday, I'm in the waiting room. I'm about to walk out. I've already done the procedure. They've ran my credit card. I've taken the Valium.
Right.
I've prayed with my mom on the phone, with my sister on the phone. I blew my sister's phone up. Call. She wouldn't answer. Call again. Wouldn't answer. Call again. Wouldn't answer. And then I messaged this girl. I was like, okay, how did it go for you? It was terrible. My eyes fell out. Don't do it. That's what she said to me. It's like, I'm never talking to this person again. But I am a comedian. I get it. So people expect me to, but there's just this one little chapter of my life. It's not a chapter, it's more of a page, but
I am so scared right now.
Thank the Lord it was just a page.
Right, yeah.
But like yesterday, I thought like this could change the rest of my life. Right. Like, what if I can't see tomorrow?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was fully prepared for you to be blind, so I have quite a few bits written.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I was going through the process of what does a blind Dale Brisby look like? Like, what do the jokes look like? Like, which interns leave me?
Yeah.
Because they don't see a future. Which ones stay? Like, to be honest, I was like labeling it. I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure. Like, the first one I thought of that would definitely stay, I thought of Willie. You know, just because he doesn't have a future anywhere else.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like,
let's face it.
And so, because then he just does everything for me, like lead me to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, like
that was actually a best case scenario for Willie.
But then I thought of like the dumb that like Cole would do. For a time. It's just like, okay, send in Dalton. I need to talk to him, you know. But then you send in Adam or something like that. And like, or I'm going to fire someone and you send the wrong person out, fire the wrong. Like, I was just like, but then thank the Lord. Like, I'll tell you though, there was like, and you guys have heard me talk about it, but like Wimberley, Texas, I had this like feeling of, I had this feeling of like, I'm not going to do good today. Mm-hmm. And usually in my career, like I had never, like when I thought that, I didn't do good.
Yeah.
And doubt, I just had doubt creep in.
Right.
Is what it was. Like, for whatever reason, maybe like there was something about the horse, there was something about my preparation, there was something about the previous rodeo I'd gone to, but doubt crept in during that time. And but on the back of the chutes, I remember thinking like, just because I'm doubting this doesn't mean that has to be what happened. Like,
right.
I can change the outcome. And so I did mentally, and then I rode good. Mm-hmm. And it was different than, and it was a defining moment for me in rodeo, but also in life. And so I absolutely thought about it yesterday, because I think there's a difference in like you're doubting something and then like maybe borderline premonition.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, one time me and Leroy, we went to go catch that bull, Carl Wayne. He was in the Netflix show. Well, he named him Carl Wayne because we got him from Casey Donahue's ranch, which is in Throckmorton. Casey Donahue had called me and he was like, hey dude, I got this bull out and we cannot find him or catch him. Can y'all come help us? Me and Leroy, it was like a spur of the moment thing. I'm up here. I call Wes because he hated being in the warehouse. So he was at the ranch. I was like, hey, will you please hook up my truck to that half top, and then I'll be over there quick, saddle a horse, throw it in it. The truck will be hooked up. We can go get there in time to help Donahue. So I get over there. He pulls the truck around. I got my horse saddled. I said, thanks, Wes. Throw him in the trailer. We take off. Mm-hmm. Going to Throckmorton down 380. There's this one bridge where it's a big bump, and I hit it, and it like bumps weird. And I'm like, oh, that was weird. We got Boone and Buckethead in the trailer. It's like, man, that felt weird. We get into Throckmorton. We meet up with Casey. He's like, all right, follow me. We go outside of Throckmorton to his ranch. We've been about 50 miles at this point, and we stop. There is one-lane traffic. This construction guy stopped me, and he was like, you got to go over here. And we get stopped, and Leroy's like, man, I got a bad feeling. I was like, what are you talking about? He gets out, goes back there, and the trailer was wide open, the hitch.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't locked.
Yeah.
Like on a bumper pull.
Uh-huh.
It's one thing on a gooseneck.
Yeah.
But the bumper pull, like, you know how it locks in there and then that sleeve, that coupler thing goes over the deal? It was just wide open.
Dang.
It had just been lowered and the block taken out. And it was an accident.
Yeah.
It was a complete accident. He was in a hurry. I'm sure he planned on pulling the trailer around, then doing it maybe. I don't know what was going on in his mind, but it was an accident. But nonetheless, like, there's been like 3 or 4 times in my brother's life, and mine and his life, where he would do that and then he would be right. And so like when he said that, I was like, well, damn, I got to listen to him.
Yeah.
But the weight of Boone and Buckethead had kept that trailer down.
It just bounced
on
off
the ball.
Yeah.
So when I'd gone over that bridge, it bounced up came back down and landed back on the ball.
Right.
And that was like the weird feeling I felt. You know, pulling a trailer, you just know something's different. And so that was the different. So that was like a premonition thing, I think it's from the Lord. I'm not sure the exact definition of premonition. I'm not saying like it was like the universe. I'm saying thank the Lord that he put that feeling in my brother's stomach. I had it too, I guess. I just wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Anyways, yesterday, so like my whole life is like I try to navigate these feelings.
Flashing before your eyes. Sorry.
So I do this in business too. Like it's like, all right, this is a risky deal. This is either I'm nervous because it's risky and ballsy, or it's a feeling of I shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's life.
Trying to get a good outlook on it.
Because like in business, like if you were going to, for instance, like invest in a company, it's like, all right, am I nervous because I don't believe this company will succeed, or am I nervous because it's risky?
Yeah.
And so that's what I was trying to navigate yesterday. And I was like, am I nervous because the doctor said less than 0.5% chance that you would walk out.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Which I don't like those odds.
Right.
And so I thought, I think I'm just nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's just like on the back of the chutes. I think it's just doubt.
Right.
I didn't think it was like a premonition thing like my brother had. And so that's why I moved forward with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know the best way for you guys to, I don't know how that helps anybody making decisions other than just like relentless prayer and then like knowing yourself and knowing your stomach and knowing, and then I don't do this often at all. But I was just like, I was nervous. So I was just searching for comfort. And I was like, I wonder what the verse of the day is today. Strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord.
Jesus is on my side with that.
So
I'm glad you saw it through, man.
So I was like, without which no one will see the Lord. So I was like, oh, I got to do it.
Sorry. It's terrible, but it's perfect.
Oh, it wasn't terrible. It was absolutely perfect. Yeah. And then my sister, my mom, everybody was just like, it's okay. But except this chick on Instagram, the one person, no one will have to remind me to never ask her for advice.
The only thing I wanted to say to you before, I thought you were going to come to the booth before you went to surgery. The only thing I was going to say to you was, don't worry, man, no matter how it goes, we'll see you through it.
You have exhausted all jokes possible. No. The only thing I could think is just like, if your fiance leaves you, Cole, we're all going to dinner tonight. Feel free to bring a +1. Like I'm just like, I'm telling you, like
you're waiting. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Like your dog dies.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're not getting your pet deposit back. Like I'm not gonna stop.
That's how it works, man.
That's a good one.
Like, don't ask for your pet deposit back.
Hey, man, we're going to the dog park. You want to just come and hang out? All right.
Yeah. One of the horses you're riding dies. Like, oh, we're still gonna beat that rascal. Like, I'm just gonna send you videos,
right,
of just me out there, like literally hitting this dead horse. Like, get ready for this. Never gonna stop. But
worth it.
It's a lot like those. I mean, I guess I asked for it by sharing all that one guy reels, his Instagram reels.
Which ones?
Like dad jokes at the cemetery.
Yeah,
and he walks up like, what happened, man? My girlfriend died, and he goes, "Oh, you really did her dirty, huh?" You know, he just buried her. Like he has all those. I think they're hilarious. I probably would have found him a lot more funny last night had I not been in such intense pain.
That's what. Yeah, I figured.
I respect the fact that you said him. It was just like the intense physical pain.
Right, exactly. You can't even laugh at it,
Because I will make a room awkward making jokes about my dad. My sister's the worst at, or the best, however you want to see it. Whenever 2020 came around, like the day my dad died. So like March and April are when in 2020 are when like they started doing like social distancing and
right.
Stuff like that. And so May 2nd is when my dad died, and she shared a post and put on the caption, social distancing champ, hashtag 6 feet. 6 feet under.
Damn.
Oh, ice cold.
The one I'm not proud of, the one your grandpa wrote that book and you told me not to read it and you left it in the pickup and I skipped to the last page and went, hey, spoiler alert, like he doesn't make it.
No, my great grandpa was born in like 1874. Yeah. Who else is in here that we need to hear their New Year's resolutions?
Jordan,
you want to come share your New Year's resolutions? I don't think I'm supposed to rub my eyes.
Resolution. How many resolutions do you get?
I guess however many you want.
Really?
We keep our word around here.
We do.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Jordan Halverstein. Is this mic on?
Yep.
Hers will be to get those.
Welcome to the new podcast studio, by the way.
Welcome to the new podcast studio.
Yep.
We've got a new warehouse in the back, and so that opened up this area. Actually, this was kind of always been open.
Yeah.
We just changed to a couch.
Yeah.
Well, it was full. Yeah. There was a lot more.
Do I send you that girl's TikToks?
Yeah.
Yeah. She does the Kardashian jokes.
Oh.
Anyways, what's your New Year's resolution, Jordan?
Well, my New Year's resolution last year was to ride like 75% of my bulls.
Yep.
And I think I'm just going to keep that one. Just be
What
consistent.
percentage of your bulls did you ride?
It was over 75%.
Well, you got to up the percentage.
Yeah, let's
That's
go.
like already unrealistic, I think. But
Have you ridden any? Have you been on any bulls this year yet?
None.
So why not like 80?
I don't know. I feel like 75 was like pretty high.
75's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, 75's good enough. That's like a C if you were in school. Were you a C student?
No, I was an A student.
Oh, were you? You don't want to be an A bull rider?
Well, I just don't like. I also don't want to set myself up to like. I feel like then like I'll put myself in a slump.
I get it.
I mean,
75 is. This
you're
is
not
your
gonna know.
resolution.
Yeah.
Not mine.
You're not gonna know.
Yeah.
He's already going to ride 100%.
Yeah, I ride 100% of
For
the bulls I
90
get
every
on.
time.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, my 4.6's shirt was actually in my rigging bag that got lost on the airline, the Spirit Airlines. So be careful if you fly Spirit. And if you do, ask them if you've seen Dale Brisby.
There's a rigging bag somewhere.
Did you see that video of like the Spirit airline like taking off during the tornado or something like that? Oh yeah, there's like some voiceover saying like you can't do that. There's a tornado. Spirit.
We're going to go.
Yeah. So who should we have on this podcast? We're going tomorrow. I'll just say he's a world champion rodeo cowboy, but I don't want to spoil who it will be. We got to go there in the morning. So we got to wrap all this stuff up that y'all took forever to set up.
All right. We just installed some new shelves. That's fine. You know what? That's fine. Gives us more time. We take it down. We start back up. We'll get it polished.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Who else do we need?
For this podcast or for tomorrow?
Well, I don't know that we can get them here in time to finish this podcast.
Oh, okay.
I mean, tomorrow. Not even tomorrow. Tomorrow's already done. Guests on the Rodeo Time podcast for 2023.
Gotcha.
Coulter Wall.
Yep. That's
agreed.
Allegedly.
He was a fan of it. We went, saw him at Billy Bob's, talked to him backstage. Coulter Wall was incredibly gracious, like just a gracious host.
Super nice dude, yeah.
Yeah. He put on a good show and everything. We went back there. He was just nice. He's a big Dale Brisby fan, And
seems like an average size Dale Brisby fan. What's he like? 5'10"?
Man, he's a little taller than me, so he's a pretty big dude.
Oh, is he? Yeah. What about military people? Because it was life-changing for me to go on Marcus's podcast. Yeah. Not because of the notoriety. That was absolutely helpful too, but just like getting to meet Marcus and then the influence he had over me afterwards, the motivation it caused me to look into some of those other books that were written. I just wonder what military people we could have on that would be that impactful.
Man, I mean, the dream guest for me, if we're talking military, would be Jocko then.
Yeah.
Like that would, I mean.
Maybe not so much A-list celebrity.
Yeah. So Kyle Carpenter.
Oh, yeah, the Marine?
Yeah, I read his book.
I ordered it, I think.
I think it's in there. To it?
No. He's the one that, Medal of Honor, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I
haven't listened to it
yet. No, that's Dakota Meyer.
Okay.
He's an EMT now. He is a Marine, also Medal of Honor.
Yeah. Kyle Carpenter.
You can see how I was confused.
He would be good on a podcast.
Right. Yes. I think Tim Kennedy would come on one.
I bet he would.
Because he's not
like a good dude.
Yep, and he's full blood Texan. Like he's all about it.
That's who I need a message to go down and train with.
Yes.
Yeah.
For cowboy.
Probably during San Antonio.
Yeah.
Because I'll be down there for the rodeo.
Right.
Which we could also see Caleb Francis, and he's down to do one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Caleb Francis, but great. He's a good person to follow on all platforms. Hilarious.
Maybe the funniest person I've ever met.
It's crazy how
one on the internet.
How funny he is, but how genuine he is in person.
Yeah.
So, comes from West Virginia. Works for Black Rifle Coffee.
Yep.
But supposedly I get to go on Cam Haines' podcast.
Right.
Allegedly.
So we'll see.
That would be good.
What are you going to talk about with Cam Haines? Like, Cam Haines just extreme, dedication. I mean, coming from your side, being like, so man, this one time, there I was dressed like a hot dog. I'm just kidding.
Touche. I mean, he has the best of the best on his podcast, so why not start with the greatest bull rider ever to walk the earth?
That's a fair point. You know what? I stand corrected. You have. You actually have plenty to
talk about. You think JB would go all the way up there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
So that's why I called you.
Yep.
Who else can I?
Probably not. Yeah. Maybe do another podcast with JB.
They'll seem to do well.
People like to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. Yep. What about you, Donnie? What's a dream podcast guest?
A dream podcast guest? I don't know. I mean, I like to listen to Dale Brisby, so really, if he did one by himself,
that would just be
a dream come true.
Deal.
Well, do you guys have any life advice? What's going to be your life advice for the year?
Oh, wow. I got to change it up, I guess. I haven't been on one of these in a long time.
Well, think about it.
Okay.
What do you got, Cole?
Get up and go to work, I think. It's the biggest thing, there's plenty days where a guy's going to sleep in, and it just seems easy. But I just don't know. I think about a lot the best possible day for me. Like what's the best day I could have, like start to finish and everything. And I think always the best days I have are when I wake up early, I work out, and I go ride horses. Like that's, I don't know. I think about that a lot, and then just like trying to keep that energy going the rest of the day.
Did you do that today?
Yeah, and it feels amazing, every time I do it. And I don't know. It's one of those things. It takes a lot of discipline and getting in the groove of it. But I just, I guess, find out what your perfect day is. Find out all those things, and then just, I don't know, find out what you're not gonna give up, and do those things. I don't know if that's just, I'm being really vague here, but find the things that you wouldn't sacrifice. That they're going to be a part of your day, and just do them. Yeah, it's not really life advice, but I like it.
Mine's going to be go to the dentist. Don't wait to go to the dentist, guys. Life advice, go to the dentist.
That's really practical advice.
I had a tooth pulled yesterday, so.
I don't feel, I know what you're talking about, Cole. I guess the stage I'm at in my career, and as far as like physical fitness, like I just don't feel, what's the word? Qualified. To give too much advice in that arena.
Right.
Other than, like, I heard Goggins say the other day that I thought was interesting. This is not advice. It would be just more encouragement. But, like, one thing he was talking about, like, we don't have to be taught to how to respond to positive things that happen in our life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not something you have to learn how to respond to.
Yeah.
Like, if you win something or you earn something or something goes well. But we do have to learn how to respond to negative things that happen.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the ways he justified, like, jumping into the suck.
Right.
You know, like whether it's like cold water or running 14 miles or whatever it is, like if you can create that for yourself and teach yourself how to respond there, learning how to respond to those things.
Yeah.
That's what's been my motivation for doing what you're talking about.
Right.
Which is, you know, getting up and doing something that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So like cold water or running, which are two of like my least favorite things.
Yeah.
And if you can endure something that's not enjoyable, because if something good happens that day, okay,
yeah,
who needs to know how to handle that? Like you either say yay really loud or you think it or you smile or whatever. But anyways, I guess my life advice would be the Shakespeare quote from that Gary LeFew shared in the documentary Moon of the Desperados that my brother and I, it's like the first quote my brother and I knew when we were in like grade school. It was like, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we often might win by fearing to attempt. And that was what I was thinking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Before LASIK.
Yeah.
So it was a simple thing that like usually Gary LeFew was obviously talking about bull riding.
Yeah.
You know, like, but for me it was applicable for getting LASIK done, which I'm not telling somebody to go get LASIK. Don't go get LASIK because I told you to. Do not. I don't want to put people through the same nervousness that I had.
Right.
But what do you got, Donnie?
You know, just find what you want to do and base your life decisions off of around that. You know, everything I try to make my decisions around are based off of bronc riding. So find your bronc riding and make decisions based around that. I don't know, man.
I want that on a T-shirt. Find your bronc riding, man. But no, I
mean, you might suck at something for a long time, but if it's something you really want to do, like.
Yeah, Jacobs told me that when I was in college. They called and they said, we need X amount of guys to come to a rodeo in Hawaii. Yeah. And they have them over there occasionally. Apparently they last hours. They'll have a rodeo and it may be 6 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, they've never seen it. Like, people take umbrellas because it'll rain a lot, so they just, it's going to rain. So they'll just sit under an umbrella and watch a rodeo for 6 hours. Yeah. But anyways, they were like, hey, we need some rough stock guys to come over here. And I asked Jake, I was like, what do you think? Should I go over? He said, I wouldn't if it was me. I was like, why? It was very clear. And he's like, well, it's not in line with my goals. It doesn't help me accomplish goals. I can get on if I just need to get on a bronc, I can do that here. You know, I don't have to, and but that's going to take time away. I'd be gone for a week, and I need to be here because that's my goals. And went to the NFR 10 times, and he's a world champion. But that's cool. Anyways, that's how he made his decisions. Everything was based on that was his goal, and that's how he made his decisions. But.
Good. I like it.
I feel like I've got my vision back. I feel like I was half-assed planning on being blind.
Right.
And now I'm not. I'm so grateful.
Right? Yeah. Every second that passes by.
I thought about multiple times that scripture where he talks about, like, if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. If your eyes cause you to sin, gouge them out.
Damn.
So, like, I got to be, like, really careful that I don't use my eyeballs for sin.
Right.
That was kind of what I got from it yesterday. I've learned a long time ago not to, like, make deals with God, because ultimately, like, we can never hold up our end of the bargain. Where It's just like, Lord, if you let me keep my eyesight, I'll never use them for sin. Like, I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah.
It's like, I know me, and my eyes will mess up, you know?
Right.
But that is something I've thought about. Anyways, well, I'm glad you all can hear us on Rodeo Time, the podcast, hopefully, or maybe for those of you that are watching. It's been great to hit the restart button. 2023 is going to be a big year for us. We're all excited. We're going to film every chance we get. We're going to be going to a lot of rodeos with the booth. So you guys just look out for those appearances on my Snapchat. If you've got a suggestion on who we should have as a podcast guest, please text it to 940-353-0890. Text the word podcast and then tell us the guest name. So put podcast and then a space and then Trevor Brazil or something like that, whatever you got. So look for the suggestions, or if you can talk to them. If you know Trevor, he doesn't answer my text, but maybe he'll answer yours. So check out dalebrisby.com. That's where you can get your apparel, the Rodeo Time line, and we're on to the next one, old son. How do we click that thing? Which one is it, Donnie?
How you mean?
The sound for our deal.
Oh.
Our outro.
New outro. Hey, this is Rodeo Time, and we are on to the next one. Pow, pow. There it is.